What's up, guys?
Hey everyone,
It's your favorite couple, the Hubbards.
and we are back for episode 3. It is what it is.
But before we jump into the episode and talk about what we got on deck for you, we want to thank you guys for your outpouring and your support. We want to thank you for the love that you have shown to us. Continue to share our videos. Continue to like us on Facebook and follow us and subscribe to our YouTube page as well.
We'd also like to encourage you to register for our upcoming webinar June 19th. What are we fighting for? We'll be pinning registration information in the comments, so check that out after you watch the video.
We promise you will be blessed from the knowledge that you'll gain from that webinar. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. It is what it is. And what is it?
So it is what it is. Our relationships, they are what we make them. It is what it is. Whatever we put into them, that's what we're going to get.
And it seems like it's, that's easy, but it's not. It's hard, but it's not. It's just very practical. It's practical. It is what you make it, pretty much.
So it is what it is. However, relationships and building the relationships that we want, that doesn't just happen. But the beauty is, if you're in a state in your relationship where you're unhappy with it, you can change it. You can always change it. And if you are in a situation where you love where your relationship is right now, you still got to keep working at it. So this episode will have information that will help on any perspective.
Right, and we're not just talking about husband-wife relationship. We're also talking about mother-daughter, father-son. We're talking about work relationships. We're talking about relationship with friends. All of these tools that we're going to talk about tonight should help you with any relationship that you are in. But the key is you got to do it. You can't just say, I want to have a great relationship. I want to have a relationship like Raph and Brina. I want my relationship to sparkle and glow like their relationship glows. But you see, everybody can't be us. Okay? Everybody can't be us. But we're going to give you some tools that'll get you close to being us, okay? Close to being us.
We are a work in progress. Whatever you said, we are a work in progress.
We really are. We really are.
But we really want to share with you the things that we've learned through our ebbs and flows that have gotten us to the point where we are now, where we are at a point where we are very happy in where our relationship is, and it's something that we have to continue to work at.
Because like Brenda said, if you don't like it, make the change. If you like it, keep it going. Because again, it is what it is. It's very practical. It's just like a light switch. If you don't want to sit in the dark, flip the switch up. If you want to sit in the dark, turn it back off. It doesn't work where you just look at the light switch and say, I want the lights on, and look at them long enough, they'll come on. It doesn't work like that. So it's about being practical. It takes time, because we've been at it 17 years, and to some folks, that's not long at all. Some been married 40, 50 years, and to some people, we've been married a long time. But no matter how long you've been in a relationship, you got to work at it. You got to put in the work, and it's very, very practical.
And part of that is getting out of your own way, because sometimes we can allow our pride to get in the way and we don't want to acknowledge our part. But the reality is, if a relationship is not working, both parties own a part in that. You can't solely say it's 100% the other person's fault that this relationship isn't working. The reality is we have to do some self-evaluation and realize that we own a part in that too. And what is it that I can do that will make our relationship better, no matter what relationship it is?
Yeah, and that's the tough part about it, because nobody wants to look and say, I'm wrong, right? Nobody wants to look and say, I'm wrong. We always want to point the finger at other people. But when we can learn to look at ourselves and say, hey, I can do this more in a relationship, or I can do this, or this is my fault. The relationship will start to work when both parties do it now. Just one can and the other one can't. Both parties must be willing to get in there, grind it out, and see, hey, what do I need to change? And your relationship can be what it is.
So we're going to share a few strategies and tips with you that have worked for us. And so first,
hold on before you go, Scott. Just remind, we relationship gurus. So if it worked for us, it can work for y'all too. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I thought she ain't ready. But go ahead.
You must make your relationship a priority, because if it's not a priority to us, we won't put any effort into it.
Nope, none at all. It has to be uno numero, number one priority.
You said that right.
I ain't say that right. Well, I held the
It's
finger.
numero uno.
Well, I held the finger up, so number
Okay,
one.
but I still think you said that wrong.
I probably did, but y'all understood what I was saying, right? It got to be first, okay? Because about priority, we make those things that are important a priority, and we'll move heaven and earth to make sure that those things we want will get done.
Yeah.
And we'll do that. And the same thing has to be for a relationship. Your partner needs to know that this relationship is important.
Yeah.
They must know that. Husbands, let your wives know that the relationship is important. Wives, let your husband know. Children, let your parents know. Parents, let your children know. It goes on and on and on. Priority, importance.
And even in your professional relationships, if people feel as if you don't feel that those relationships are a priority, it can hurt you professionally as well. But when a person feels unappreciated, it does something. It creates a barrier and a wall that gets so hard to break down once it's there. And we've been there.
Yep.
Where you just felt like you weren't a priority, you weren't important. And then you start to get stubborn. Then you start to build walls, and then you start to get to a point where you close yourself off from the other person. And that is relationship death.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is, you must know that it's important. Because I can tell you all day, hey, our relationship is important.
And we do that.
And we do it. Yep. You
Like,
mean
how
the
can
word.
you say you're not important to
Right.
me?
You know you're important to me. What you mean
Didn't I marry you?
Right. I married you. I gave you kids. You had to be important to me, right? So, but it's not like that. Words don't mean a whole lot if you don't have any actions to go with. And marriage, raising children, work is all about action. You can talk a good game. I can tell Brenda that she's important, but how am I showing her that she's important? I can tell my kids they're important, but how can I show them that they're actually important to me?
And a lot of times, the other party can start to feel unappreciated and as if they're not a priority because we put so many other things in front of them. Yep. And they're not even necessarily always important things.
Or bad things.
Yeah, but we tend to put those things in front and we don't recognize it, because sometimes we say, oh, I gotta work. And now I did my 8 hours, 12 hours. Some of us work long hours. We get home, we're tired. So now I'm tired because I worked all day and I just need some me time. I need to be alone. And so that sounds reasonable and rational, but it's still neglecting the relationship.
Right.
And some of us married couples, we can put our children in a priority over our marital relationship and say, oh, well, I have to be a good parent. But part of being a good parent is also taking care of that marital relationship as well.
Yeah. And again, the things that we're talking about that we're doing are important as well. Work is important. It is important. We must work so we can pay bills, so we can have food to eat, so we can survive. So work is important. But what I got to learn how to do is when I come home, I got to learn how to leave work at work. Because if I don't leave work at work, then I'm bringing work home and I never left work. So when I'm with my wife, when I'm with my children, I'm still thinking about work and not paying them any attention. That's not prioritizing. That's why I tell people when you go home, go home. Leave your work at work. Because the moment, and I hate to get gruesome, but the moment you die, they're going to fill your spot with somebody else. And now your family is torn up and heartbroken because they didn't get to spend that time with you. So learn how to leave work at work, come home, spend time with the people that mean the most to you. You got to do that.
And sometimes we can put things that are not all that important as a priority above our relationships. Hanging out with our friends.
Yep.
Social media on our phones.
Yep.
Other hobbies. He did that because he knows he's guilty. That's all you. So, and again, those aren't bad things.
No.
But moderation and prioritization,
Yeah.
that's where it comes into where it can affect our relationships.
Right. I just had to say, you messed me up when you said prioritization. I couldn't even put them two together. But because I thought I didn't even know what prioritization was. I just thought it prioritized. But I'm just saying. But you right. You right. Why you looking like that? You right.
I think he's trying to embarrass me.
No, I'm not. I just couldn't get out. I can't even say it. No, that was good. That's what you did right there.
Are you saying I made up a word? I think you did.
No, not you didn't make it up, but I would have never.
You got me.
Okay. Well, you good. You good. You good. But going back to priority. But see, we got to understand that if the relationship is going to work, the one that I want the relationship to work with is the one that I need to let them know, hey, it's gonna work, and here's why. I'm going to do this. And it's not to say that as a couple that you can't be an individual and that you can't have hobbies, but how often do I do those hobbies? When we have time to spend together, how often do I run away? Because I know I like to fish.
Oof.
I love fishing.
I knew it.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could fish every day, I would fish every day. But what would that do to this relationship? Is fishing more important than this relationship? And see, that's the thing that and why? Well, what's wrong with going fishing? But
he'll stay all day, every day. He would stay from sun up to sundown. He would never come home. He would just live out there.
See, as you can tell, this has happened in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It has. Me fishing has been a problem in our relationship. And I used to think that it was Brenda didn't want me to go fishing. That's what I used to think, because that's the only way I was thinking. When we first talked about this, you remember we talked about we got to drop the pride. We got to look at self. I didn't look at the fact that I was going fishing every single day. And this was during the summer.
And I was home with the kids by myself all day, every single day.
Y'all got to spend time together. But the thing is, what I realized was, because we sat down and talked, after we talked, it made sense. It wasn't that she didn't want me going fishing. It was like, when are you going to give me some time? You know, when are you going to give me some time? You go out and you fish all day, and then you come home and want to cuddle up, but you've been gone all day. You know, so I've learned that it wasn't a matter of me fishing. It was a matter of me prioritizing how much I fish and when I would fish. It felt that my fishing was up here and our relationship was down here.
Yeah, because he would plan it like days in advance and have every detail worked out, but he never planned anything around us. So I was like, wait a minute, you planned that, but you ain't planned anything for us.
Nope.
And so, but it took having a conversation and putting out there. And I know my husband loves fishing, and I want him to fish because I know how much he enjoys it. And he does, and he fishes a lot. But now we talk about it, and we still make sure that there's time for our relationship as well.
And that's what you got to do. You got to make time. And that was bringing, you know, even with the kids. You know, RJ and Brian, they like to fish. But then if I spend time with them, what about Abigail? You see what I'm saying? So you have to let those that you're in a relationship with know that they're important. More than just saying you are important. Show them that they are important. Prioritize. Make sure they are number one. Never make them feel as if they're left out, as if you don't value them, as if they're not important to you. Because like Brenda was saying, over time, it can get ugly. It's been ugly. It's been real ugly. So yeah, it's been ugly, folks. Yeah, I'm glad y'all look at us as the picture perfect couple, but it's been ugly. But we're at a point right now where we the finest thing walking around right now.
But aside from that, other ways that you can show the other party that they are a priority is doing those things that are important to them. How do they recognize? So I don't know if you all ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages. Mm-hmm. All right, so what is it that this person appreciates? What is it that I can do for this person that really says to them, hey, I love you and I appreciate you? See, for him, he's an affectionate person. So I know his love language. I know he loves touch. So, I mean, that's how I show him that he is a priority to me and that I appreciate him. What's mine? What do I like?
Gifts.
I do.
And I'm not talking about the ones you send on your phone, not gifts, GIFs, but gifts with a T at the end of GIFTS.
And I don't care how inexpensive you can make it. I don't even care. I just like getting stuff. Right.
So it could be a piece of candy. It could be I can pick a flower out the grass and give it to her. It could be a pencil that said "I love you." I wrote on anything, any kind of gift she loves, and that that lets her know that I think she's important to me. And if I really want to let her know she's important to me, I get her an owl, something with an owl.
Yep.
She loves owls. Who? Owls. Yeah, that's what she loves. So.
All right. But with that comes planning.
Yeah, you got to plan. You got to know what you are going to do in the relationship. In order to make your relationship great, you got to plan to make it great. Again, relationships, greatness does not just happen by chance. It takes great planning. You look at some of the great things in our world. It took planning. Statue of Liberty, a great thing. It had to plan. The Lincoln Monument, it had to be planned. All of these things, memorial. What did I say? Lincoln Memorial. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be planned. All of these things take planning. So if you want a great relationship, you got to plan for it as well.
And one way to do that is plan how you can build your bond. And one of the great ways that we found that we weren't doing, and it was odd because, hey, I married a preacher. But one thing that we were not doing together, we weren't praying together. We weren't studying together. I didn't say we weren't doing it. I said we weren't doing it together. But we weren't. We weren't doing that together. But once we started doing that together, not just even us, we do family devotion with the children. Most time, Brian talks about dinosaurs. He talks about dinosaurs, and I don't even understand. But we have that time together as a family in God's Word, growing together. And that definitely helps build our bond and build our relationship because it puts us all in one accord.
Yeah, it does. And it's a great thing to hear the children's perspective on the scriptures, to hear their feedback, and for us to talk about God's Word. We pray, we sing, we do all those things to spend time. A relationship that's going to be good, that's going to be great, God has to be involved in it. He has to be the center of it. And the best way to prioritize God is to spend time with Him, not by yourself. It's good to do it by yourself, but spend time with your partner, with God. Mm-hmm. It's great to do. Another thing, plan dates. Plan to go out. Like Brent was saying, I planned my fishing trips. I did. Plan to go out. Plan dates. As you guys know, we do a date night every 2 weeks with us, and
on the other Fridays we do family date night with the kids.
Right.
And they so look forward to it. We missed a Friday night, and so they got on us the other night in the car like, when y'all taking us out again? Because y'all ain't took us nowhere.
Right. They look forward to it.
But that is a breakdown in a relationship because we knew our plans had to change because they went to a graduation last Friday. And so that was date night for them. And so communication and communicating when those plans have to change and making sure that you don't just say cancel, but reschedule so that you still making sure that it's a priority.
And what that does is that allows them to get out, to be exposed to stuff. And when we sit down and eat, we just talk. Mm-hmm. We just talk, and that opens up the communication lines. And that's what a great relationship will do. It will allow you to be able to talk. And that's what we do. We even started eating dinner at the table as a family. We starting out one day a week though, because they talk a whole lot. Ooh, they talk a whole lot. So
and two, we keep a very busy schedule with their activities and athletics, so we're rarely here to have that family dinner. So when we are, we do try to sit at the table together and eat and give them that opportunity to talk and to share with us.
Right, and they love it. They love it, and that goes a long way. Trust me, it'll go a long way. So learn to do those dates, and you're gonna talk about the trip since you talking about how pathetic we are.
We're sad. Okay, so we have been married 17 years, and so we have been planning a trip together this summer. And in the planning of this trip, we realized that in these 17 years, this is the first time we have taken a trip together, just the two of us, since our honeymoon.
Yep.
That's sad.
That's really sad.
That's
and
sad.
pathetic. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
But
yeah.
we are vacationing this weekend.
Yeah.
Not this weekend.
No,
this summer.
This summer. Yep. We plan on taking a trip this summer. It'll be the first trip, like you said, that we've been on trips with family, with friends. We've been on trips, but we have never been just us.
Mm-hmm. We go with the kids, and we just didn't even realize that we had missed us.
Yep, we missed it, and we're looking forward to it. But that goes with planning. We've been planning this for about 3 or 4 months now. We've been talking about it. We got our destination and all of that. So it's something that has to be done. That's what makes a relationship great. Planning to spend time together, not just.
And it'll be just the two of us.
Yep, just the two.
No
of us.
distractions, and
We
getting to
can make
sharing
it
it.
if we try. Just
Baby,
the
you're
two
not a
of
singer.
us.
You're not a singer.
You and I.
But you're not a singer.
You're gonna have to edit that part, make it sound good. But but right, it's just gonna be the two of us, and we're looking for you. You got to plan.
Sharing experiences together.
Yep, you got to plan to get away. Plan to get away.
Even if it's
go ahead.
movies at the house,
Yep.
family game night, whatever you can do to plan. Even if you have limited time, what limited time you do have, that's where the planning comes in, because you get to make the most of that time where it has the greatest impact on the relationship.
And we got to stop using lack of money as an excuse to not get together and do things. You be creative. Find something to do.
Make bologna sandwiches in the kitchen and go have a picnic in the backyard.
Right.
Do something.
Something where you spend time together. And plan, fathers, plan to spend time with your sons alone. Mothers, plan to spend time with your daughters alone. Vice versa. Mothers, plan to spend time with your sons alone. Father, it will work. It will work. You want to always keep those lines open to where you can talk, so those relationships can be great, but it takes planning. Got to plan. Games, like I said, we do game night here, family game night. We hadn't played in a while because of their schedule and everything, but summer rolling around, we all be off for the summer. We're gonna get back on our games. I'm gonna go back to busting heads in Monopoly. You know I'll be whooping head in Monopoly. Come on now. Who win?
He thinks he's a strategist, but
And then
all
Abigail,
he tries to do is buy Park Place.
yeah, and I never get it. Never get it. I always skip over it. Can't never roll what I need to get. And then Abigail and RJ, they don't.
They
Abigail,
just buy
they just buy anything. But them little solid properties be wiping us out too.
But we're having fun and building on our
Yep.
relationships.
Yep.
Also, like small things, write notes, text messages. I love a note too. Like, as part of my gifts, like that's the greatest. When I open my lunchbox and I have a note, or when I go to my car and there's a note there, and
Yep.
it just lets me know that, hey, you were thinking about me, and you even planned this in advance, that it's there waiting on me, you know. So it makes me feel appreciated and loved.
Yep. Planning. If it's going
Simple, doesn't cost a thing.
right. And like I said, we told you it's gonna be practical. Everything we're talking about is free of charge. Even movies. Not if you go to the movie. Don't try to sneak in free of charge. But go out. I know COVID kind of shut us down, slowed us down, but the world seems to be opening back up in spurts. So find time to do stuff. Get together. Plan in advance. Hey guys, next week we're gonna do this. Get them excited, and you know what? Follow through with
And
it.
sometimes planning means saving. Save up to do an activity. You know, it's all about prioritizing what's important to me. This is important to me, and so I want to do it to show you that you're important to me.
Right. And then we're going to dip on into you got to spend time. You got to spend. A relationship is no good when the two parties in the relationship don't spend time together.
There's actually no way to maintain a relationship. You don't have a relationship if you never spend time with each other. You're just coexisting.
Mm-hmm. Roommates, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
Roommates. And again, we've been there as well. We've been living in the same house. And that's all we were doing.
Yeah.
Just living in the same house. We slept in the same bed.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We slept in the same bed sometimes. And we got up, said good morning,
went out
left,
separate ways,
came back, good night.
Came back. It was
just like roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because we were not spending time together. We were not planning anything.
And we certainly were not prioritizing our relationship. Everything else had just gotten in the way.
Yep. And it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Because you end up being strangers to each other when you don't spend time together, because we all have our experiences and we have our day-to-day things that we go through, and they change us. Mm-hmm. And they impact us, and we're changing, but we're not changing together. We're not growing together because we're not having a relationship with each other. So we are strangers. You don't know me anymore because I've had these experiences that have changed me as a person, but you don't know anything about those.
Right. And I'm trying to figure out why you acting like you acting. And I'm thinking, hey, what have I done to cause you to act this way? Or has somebody done something to you? And it's just something has happened at work that has caused you to view things differently. But because we don't talk about it, I don't know. And in the back of my mind, what's going on? Why is she acting like this? And you begin to doubt. You begin to wonder. And all these things. And all it is a simple, hey, let's hang out today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's going on. And that solves it all. That puts all the doubt. Because doubt, a lot of times, is stuff we make up. Mm-hmm. And we just need to hear that that's not it.
So you're not spending time with me. Who you spending your time with?
Right, exactly. There it is.
You become paranoid, and it ruins your relationship. Yep. It ruins it all over just not spending time together and not growing and knowing each other.
And it's a song, Tamia, Stranger in My House. That song is exactly what not spending time together is. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. That's it. You see this person, but I don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we're not spending time together. It goes the same way with your kids.
Yeah,
it's the same way. You know, they start talking differently. They start doing things differently. You like, well,
they have new interests.
Yep, and you like, I ain't know you did none of this. We're not spending time with.
We don't know who their friends are. That's dangerous.
Yeah, extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. But it's about you got to spend time together. If you want your relationship to be great, you got to spend time together. Mm-hmm. Just got to.
So, it is what it is. What do you want your relationship to be? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give? What are you willing to commit to make it what you want it to be?
Right. It takes work. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's easy. It's not, because stuff is going to come up. Obstacles going to rise. You're going to get tired. You're not going to feel like doing these things. But at what cost? At what cost? You trying to have a great relationship, or you trying to have a mediocre relationship?
Yeah. I just want to, for instance, I recently finished my master's.
Yeah.
And during that time though, I absolutely had no relationship with my family, my husband or my children, because I was either working or I was doing schoolwork. And then so I thought when the pandemic hit, well, since I'm not having to leave the house to go to work, now I have more time for my family. But then I was teaching virtually and having tried to get together virtual lessons. Then in the evenings, I was still doing, schoolwork and trying to maintain that. And once things were going on, I missed every soccer game, all the cheer, everything they had going on. I missed everything. And so I finished my master's, and I was like, in February, I'm starting my doctorate. And my kids were talking to me, and we were going to one of their baseball, softball games, and they were like, Mom, Sure glad you're not in school anymore because you didn't come to anything last year.
Oh, they'll tell you real quick.
It's like, you didn't come to anything. You missed everything. It's like, glad you get to see something. And it hit me. It's like, what's my priority? Am I going to let my ambition get in the way of the relationship with my family? So yes, that's important to me, but what's more important? I can always get a doctor no matter how old I am. I can wait until my children are done with school and it'll still be something I can do. But right now, that time is so important. So even when we have our own ambitions and the things that we want and that we think are so important to us, we have to think about the cost.
Yep, that's what it's all about. And to have a great relationship, you got to put in the work. You got to sacrifice. You got to leave some stuff behind. You got to leave some people behind, all for the sake of my relationship. You make your relationship what it is. You play a part, your partner plays a part. But it is what it is. And again, we don't claim to have the world's greatest relationship, but it's great for us.
It is.
It's great for us. Because we're doing those things. Yeah, we don't do them all the time, and we're not going to sit and say we're perfect. But
I think we took the time to find out what works for us.
Yeah.
So what works for us may not work for you, but are you going to take the time to find out what does work for you? So, and I think that has made all the difference, taking the time to find out what does work for us.
True. So, we appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you follow.
Comment. Let us know what you think.
Let us know. Tell us some of the stuff you do. We would like to hear it, and we'll.
Because if we think it'll work, we'll do it.
We sure will. We'll try. We're doing everything we can to keep our relationship in the best possible place that it could be. So let us know what you guys are doing. Let us know what we can do. Some things you want to hear us talk about. Whatever it is, please let us know.
And share your date night pics with us.
Yep.
Do hashtag Straight Talk with the Hubbards. We'd love to see you. We'll be sharing ours as well. And this is all, guys, not just to be putting us like, oh, look at them, they're just trying to flaunt their relationship. It's not that at all. It's about trying to motivate other people and to encourage other people. Like, we have had to do the work. And so it's all about motivating others. And we want you to use your relationship as a motivation for other people too. So put those out there as well.
Yep, to show the world that it can be done. That's what we want you to do. All right, guys. Once again, we're your favorite couple, the Hubbards.
And we have thoroughly enjoyed spending time with you. We look forward to seeing you next time.
All right, talk with you later.